She woke up because of light, a soft, flickering glow coming from the living room. At first, she thought it was the street light outside her window, but when she opened her eyes, the glow was moving, flashing, changing colors, like a screen. She reached for her phone on the nightstand. 2:17 a.m. The apartment was completely quiet. Then she heard it, a faint sound from the living room. Voices, very low, almost like someone whispering. Her stomach tightened. She lived alone. Slowly, she got out of bed and walked toward the bedroom door. The light from the hallway was dim, but she could clearly see the glow coming from the living room. Blue, white, flashing against the walls. Her smart TV was on, but she was certain she had turned it off before going to sleep. Her phone buzzed. A notification from her smart home app appeared. Living room TV powered on. She frowned. The activity log showed something strange. The TV hadn't been turned on with the remote. It hadn't been turned on by voice command either. The system log said it was activated by external device. Then the voices from the TV got louder, and that's when she realized something even stranger. The TV wasn't playing a movie or a show. It was showing a live camera feed of a hallway. She stepped a little closer to the living room. The glow from the TV filled the hallway now, blue light flickering against the walls. Her heart pounded as she looked toward the screen. The TV was definitely on, but it wasn't playing Netflix or any app she recognized, just a video feed, black and white, like a security camera. She slowly walked into the living room, her eyes fixed on the screen. The image showed a long hallway, dim lighting, closed apartment doors on both sides. At first, she didn't recognize it, but then something caught her attention, a small sign on the wall. Her stomach tightened. It was the hallway of her own building, the exact corridor outside her apartment. She felt a chill run through her arms because the building cameras weren't connected to her TV. They were part of the building's private security system. Tenants couldn't access them. Yet the TV was showing a live feed of that hallway. Her phone buzzed again, another notification from the smart home system. External device connected. She looked down at the screen. A new device name had appeared on her network list. Screen share. Someone had connected to her TV wirelessly, casting something to it. She looked back up at the TV. The hallway camera feed continued. Empty, silent, nothing moving. Then, suddenly, a person walked into the frame, slowly, from the far end of the corridor. Her heart skipped. The man stopped in the middle of the hallway and looked straight toward the camera. Then he reached into his pocket, pulled out a phone, and the moment he looked down at it, her TV volume suddenly increased. The hallway audio came through the speakers. Footsteps, breathing, and then the man spoke quietly, looking at his phone. "Is this the one?" She froze in the middle of the living room. The man on the TV screen was still standing in the hallway, looking down at his phone. Then he slowly lifted his head and looked straight into the hallway camera again, like he knew exactly where it was. Her TV speakers crackled softly. The audio from the hallway was still live. She could hear the faint hum of the building lights. Then the man spoke again, quietly. "Yeah, this one's connected." Her chest tightened. Connected to what? Her eyes dropped to her own phone. The smart TV notification was still open. External device, screen share active, which meant the man in the hallway was casting the camera feed to her TV from his phone. She looked back up at the screen. The man was now walking slowly down the corridor, step by step, closer to the camera, closer to her apartment door. Her heartbeat got louder in her ears. Because if the camera he was casting was the building hallway camera, then that meant the feed was showing the exact space outside her apartment. Her phone buzzed again. Another message appeared in the smart home log. 2:18 a.m. Device name changed. She frowned and opened the network list. The screen share device had renamed itself. Now it showed a new label, Nearby Device. Her stomach dropped because the connection strength icon was full, which meant the device was extremely close, within the same hallway. She looked back at the screen. The man was now walking slowly down the corridor, step by step, closer to the camera, closer to her apartment door. Her heartbeat got louder in her ears. Because if the camera he was casting was the building hallway camera, then that meant the feed was showing the exact space outside her apartment. Her phone buzzed again. Another entry appeared in the smart home log. 2:18 a.m. New device attempting connection. She opened a device list quickly. The nearby device entry was still active, but now another one had appeared beneath it. Camera source. Her hands felt cold. Someone outside her apartment was trying to connect a camera feed to her TV, testing different sources. The TV screen flickered again. For a split second, the image changed back to the hallway outside her door. The man was still there, still looking at his phone. Then the feed switched again, back to the living room. But this time, the camera view had moved. It was closer to the TV now. And suddenly, something appeared in the frame. A figure, standing in the doorway of the living room. Her breath caught, because the person in the camera view was her. Her heart slammed in her chest. She stared at the TV. The camera feed clearly showed her living room, and in the doorway, her own silhouette, standing exactly where she was now. For a moment, she couldn't move. The image on the TV copied every small movement she made. When she shifted her weight slightly, the figure on the screen did the same. Her stomach twisted, because that meant the camera showing the feed wasn't hidden somewhere in the room. It was much closer than that. Her phone vibrated again. Another notification appeared in the smart home app. Camera source connected. Her eyes slowly moved from the TV down to the phone in her hand. Then the realization hit her hard. The camera wasn't inside the apartment. It was her phone camera. Someone had connected to her phone wirelessly and was casting the live camera view directly to her TV. Her hands started shaking. She checked the connection panel quickly. The device name appeared again. Nearby device, screen mirror active, which meant someone outside the apartment was mirroring her phone's camera feed, watching what she was seeing, projecting it onto the TV. Her pulse raced. She looked back at the TV again. The live feed still showed her standing in the doorway. And then something new happened. The audio from the hallway returned through the TV speakers. The man's voice again, calm, focused. "Yeah, it works." A second's voice answered him through his phone. "Can you see inside?" The man glanced up toward her apartment door, then looked back at his phone. "Yeah," he said quietly. "Her camera's on." She felt her stomach drop. "Her camera is on." The words echoed through the TV speakers. Her eyes snapped down to her phone. The camera icon was glowing, active, but she hadn't opened the camera app. Her hands moved quickly as she checked the screen. The phone wasn't just on, it was in screen mirror mode. Someone nearby had connected to it, projecting whatever her phone camera saw directly onto the TV. Her pulse pounded in her ears. Slowly, she lifted the phone. The TV image changed instantly, following the camera. When she pointed it toward the living room, the TV showed the exact same view. When she tilted it toward the hallway, the TV did the same. Her phone was acting like a live camera for someone outside. She quickly turned the phone around, facing the front door. The TV showed the hallway camera feed again for a split second, then switched back to her phone's camera. Now it showed the inside of the apartment door. Her breath caught because the shadow of someone standing outside appeared at the bottom of the door. The man in the hallway, still there, still holding his phone. Her phone buzzed again. A new connection alert appeared. Nearby device requesting access. That's when she understood what was happening. The man wasn't hacking her TV. He was using a wireless casting trick, trying to connect to nearby devices, testing which phones or TVs would accept the connection. And when her phone briefly accepted the request, it started mirroring the camera automatically, showing the inside of her apartment, right onto her own TV. She didn't hesitate. She immediately switched off Wi-Fi, then Bluetooth. The connection disappeared instantly. The TV screen went black. The apartment became quiet again. Her heart slowly started to calm. But before she turned away, the TV flickered one last time. Just for a second. The hallway camera feed appeared again. The man was still standing outside her door, looking down at his phone. Then his screen must have gone dark too, because he lowered the phone, looked at her apartment door for a moment, and quietly walked away down the hallway. The next morning, she changed every wireless setting in her apartment. New passwords, new network, casting completely disabled. Because the scariest part wasn't the man outside, it was how easily her own devices had almost shown him everything inside.